is on Netflix, and this is animated. It's an animated comedy set in the 70s in America, in a place called Rustvale, which is, I'm pretty sure it's fictional. It doesn't exist. And you meet a guy called Frank Murphy, and he works he works like in baggage at a local airport, and you get to meet his family, his wife Sue. You get to meet his kids. He has 3 of them, and it's essentially just about him trying to get through his life in the 70s. And it goes into things about what the ideas of what, like, people thought a man was supposed to be in the 70s and all that kind of stuff, and the place the women were supposed to be. There's a bit where he loses his job, and how it's like he loses his job, and it's his identity that's all about that. And all the while he's struggling and he's trying to do the right thing, he's trying to do what they told him, because he served in the Korean War. He came back. He had all these dreams of what he was supposed to do. All the American dream crashed down for him. He has his neighbor who is played. So this is created by Bill Burr, and it's Bill Burr plays Frank Murphy, and he has his neighbor who is played by Sam Rockwell, and his neighbor is this guy called Vic, who's kind of like, because this is the 70s. Oh, did I mention this is animated, by the way, Sharon? Because I can see you looking interested, and I just thought I'd warn you. It's animated, and it's played by Sam Rockwell.
Does his animated character look like Burt Reynolds? Because that was like what you should look like in the 70s if you're an American man.
There is a character that looks very much like Burt Reynolds in this. There is a character that looks very much like Burt Reynolds, and what they do with that character, he has like the mustache, he has the hair, everything like that. What they do with him is quite funny if you ever watch it. But his neighbor is a guy called Vic, and he's played by Sam Rockwell, and he's kind of like, hey, you're free love, man. He's on drugs every day, but apparently succeeds in everything he does in life financially without even trying. He works at a radio station, drives a car, has women around his house all the time. He's always having all these parties where people are naked. And Frank is just looking at him going, oh, for goodness sake, that damn Vic and all that guy. And I think it's quite a good thing, because I started watching this thing years ago, and then I stopped because I was like, I can't be bothered. At that time I thought, it's called F is for family, and they seem to use the fact that, we're going to try and put the F word into every sentence as possible. And after it just got too much for me. I was like, that putting the F word into every sentence is not funny in and of itself. It just isn't funny, I don't think. But what they go through it is like when they start showing this snapshot of 70s life, I think that there are some things that anybody who lived through the 70s, which is why, Sean, I think you might like it. Right. It's like anyone who lived through the 70s might go, oh, I remember that. There's a whole plot thing where it's about somebody inventing a salad spinner. And it was kind of, and how it's like, oh my God, a salad spinner, woo! And the fact that they get an answering machine, and that's like the height of technology.
Oh, wow.
It's like the absolute height of technology. And I think I really liked it. The episodes are like 20-something minutes. You put them on the background, like, it can go through. But then when it goes through the storyline, and if it actually gives something for his kids to do, and finds something for all the different characters to do. And I think it ended after the 5th season, and they ended it, I think, at the right point. They ended it at the right point because I think, okay, look, we have enough to say. We've had enough to say about this stuff. We can. There's a thing with American shows, especially sort of like if they have the sitcom thing, if you have the husband, wife, 3 kids kind of thing. When they bring a baby into it, I'm like, okay, I think they're running out of ideas. So they do bring a baby into it, but the way they bring the baby in is hilarious. Like, why the baby shows up is hilarious. And they seem to know themselves, because the show ends shortly after the baby shows up, because they're kind of like, yeah, we know, we've got a baby in here, because it's all about the balance of the characters, and once you bring another character in, it messes up the balance, and so we know that, so we're out. And that's personally what I think they did, and for that I actually quite like it. I would give this a 4 out of 5. I would recommend that Sean finds it on Netflix and watches it, because I think it's quite funny. The guy who looks like Burt Reynolds is
yeah, that's it. You got to have stock characters there.
Yeah, well, they have stock characters. They have this. There's this running joke that they have. They have this guy on TV, and there's this TV character. He's on a detective TV show, and he's called Colt Luger. He's got Colt Luger, and he is kind of like, a satire on the kind of man's cop you had in the 70s and the 80s. Speaking of Burt Reynolds, there was a TV show that he was in for one season called Dan August, that kind of thing, like things like Beretta, all that kind of stuff. And whenever they showed you clips from this Code Luger show, you're like, this is the most sexist, racist kind of like, but it's the 70s. It's the 70s, so everybody loves this guy. Everybody loves this guy. And I'm just kind of like, it's a very, very knowing satire of that time and going, if you don't think we've come that far, we've come a little bit. We've moved a little bit away from this. Anyway, Sean, what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying about something like lookalikes, like Burt Reynolds. There was, and I know this is, I'm off on one of my tangents again, but John will say, I've noticed that there's a lot of, like, when you scroll through some of these things to see this, a bloke that looks just exactly like Charles Bronson, but he's not Charles Bronson.
Oh, yeah, Dave.
Oh, he's...
they found a guy who does look like Charles Bronson.
Just a spit of him.
And they keep putting him in films that are very Charles Bronson.
Yeah, it does. Well, you see from the covers...
You mean they found like a Charles Bronson face and they just keep putting him in like low-level things that show up on Prime Video.
Yeah.
Literally,
yeah. So it was just funny. It looked just like in the covers. So like, when you get the shots, it's always like, like in Death Wish where he's got like a gun or something like that.
Yeah.
I know that was a tangent, but hey.
No, it's okay, because speaking about that, in F is for Family, Code Luger, even though he's animated, his face looks like a cross between Robert Mitchum and Steven Seagal.
Cool.
Yeah, when you look at, I was just thinking, those are the two people I'm seeing. I'm seeing Robert Mitchum and Steven Seagal. All right, cool. So that